Good morning, sports investors. Saturday, January 4th, 2020. This is the YouTube version of the famed Rothstein Sports Investing Show. I, of course, am your beloved host, famed Rothstein, a.k.a. Michael Snackson, a.k.a. Bay O Wolf, a.k.a. Malcolm Excellence, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. What else is there? A.k.a. Meyer Wolfsheim. Huh? Now, I've got 4 picks for you today, okay? But before we do that, I just want to remind you that if you feel you have a gambling problem, please do not listen to this show. I appreciate you doing that, but I'd rather you go get you some help. Contact your local Gamblers Anonymous Association, and hopefully they can get you the services you feel you need, because here shortly, I'm going to start talking about sports investing through sports wagering, and I don't want to be any triggers to any negative behaviors for you. So please contact your state or your local Gamblers Help Group, and hopefully they can get you on the path of the straight and narrow. But those who remain, you will become profitable sports investors. All right? Now, also, before I start, hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification button so you can be notified when I drop a video. All right? Now, let's get into it. Like I said, Saturday, January 4th, 2020. It's just before 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. So you've got about 2.5 hours to get this first one in. It's college football, the Armed Forces Bowl, Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, played on the campus of TCU down there at Fort Worth, just outside of Dallas. All right, and it got the Southern Mississippi versus the Tulane Green Wave. All right, I've seen Tulane because they're in the same conference as my hometown team, the Cincinnati Bearcats, the Republic of Cincinnati Bearcats. Pardon me, but yeah. So I had to pay attention to Tulane a little bit. They've got a pretty decent defense. They've got a very decent defense, and they don't score worth a shit. Southern Miss, on the other hand, I've seen their offense maybe once or twice. I wasn't impressed. I didn't, unless he was injured, not playing well that day. I don't remember seeing any future high-round draft picks out of their upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors. And thing you need to know about this game, it's going to be like, low 50s, high 40s around game time, around kickoff. Thing you need to know about this game is that the line started at 57.5, the total. I think somebody's a 7.5 point favorite. I didn't look because I didn't care. When I saw the line, I said I'm taking it. When I saw the total, it was 56.5 or 57.5. Now it's down to 56.5. You know what that means. A lot of money came in on the under, that it went down one, okay? And it's still going to stay under 56.5, all right? So with that game, you want to take the total under 56.5, all right? Now, I've got 2 NFL games for you, all right? A total of 3 investment opportunities off these 2 games. The first one, 4:15 Eastern. You've got the Buffalo Bills against the Houston Texans. Now, total is 43.5, and Houston is a 3-point favorite at home. AFC wild card for today. Listen, man, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I like Houston, but Deshaun's a little banged up, and that was my knock on him coming out of college. He could obviously play, but can his body hold up? He stays injured. He gets injured a lot. They're talking about running O'Brien out of there if they don't make a deep run into the playoffs. At least the conference championship, if not the Super Bowl. They're talking about running him out of there. Watt's coming back today. That'll give them that will give them an emotional lift for about a quarter. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Buffalo's going to win this game outright. So you can either take Buffalo +3 or you can take them on the money line. Buffalo's going to win this game outright, I believe, okay? Buffalo, I like the quarterback, Allen. They got a very stout defense. Very, very stout defense does Buffalo have. And I just don't, and they like their coach. That is a big thing with young players. See, back my generation, old fuddy-duddies like me, we didn't care whether we liked the coach or not. We were just there for the action, the running, the blocking, and the tackling. All right? These young guys today, liking your coach is a big deal. They like the coach, I forget his name, I apologize, but they seem to like him and like him a lot. So, and they made the playoffs, 2 out of the last 3 years Buffalo has? They were very close. It went down to the last 2-3 weeks of the year. Usually New England has that division wrapped up early, by like week 10, week 11. Went down to week 16, week 17 this year for them to wrap it up because Buffalo was right on that ass. Taking Buffalo to win that game outright, all right? And speaking of New England, that's the last 2 picks for you, that game. New England hosting Tennessee, all right? The total is 44.5, and Tennessee is a 5-point dog on the road up there, all right? You know what they've been saying for the past week. It's over for New England. A lot of money going in on Tennessee, all right? A lot of money's going on Tennessee. I'm not going to be any different. I'm taking Tennessee +5. There's going to be weather in that game. It's supposed to rain all day, then the rain's supposed to turn to snow, or at least a wintry mix, as the meteorologists like to say, right around kickoff. Ball's going to feel like a brick. Nobody's going to be wanting to throw it anyway. This game's going to lend itself to the running game. Derrick Henry's the best back in the game. He's the biggest, the strongest, and the fastest, all right? Shout out Rex Burkhead, former Bengal. Shout out, what's my guy's name? Chubb. No, he plays for Cleveland. Sony Michael, that's what I meant. Sony Michel, however you say his name. Shout out him as well. New England's offense has been struggling too. I'm taking Tennessee +5. Tennessee +5. And the last pick from that game is the total. Okay, I didn't do any props this week. This one is going to be a 5-unit move. That's how confident I am in it. A 5-unit move. If you don't understand what units are, say you take your bankroll. Say you got $1,000 bankroll, okay? 1 unit is 1%. So 1% of 1,000 is $10. You would bet $10 on this pick, okay? That's 1 unit. I'm saying 5 units. So you would put 50 if you have $1,000 bankroll. You would put 5% of that, $50, on this pick. And that would be the under of 44.5. Why? Because of everything I just told you. New England's offense is struggling. It's going to be cold. It's going to lend itself to the running game. The running game speeds up the clock. There's not as many plays, because the clock doesn't stop. There's, no incompletions, things like that. So, to recap, all right, college football, Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Southern Mississippi versus Tulane. We're going to take the under of 56.5, all right? NFL playoffs, game 1, 4:15 p.m. You've got Buffalo at the Houston Texans. We're going to take the Buffalo Bills. You can either take them +3 or on the money line to win straight out. I think they're going to win straight out. Straight up. Take them straight up on the money line. They're +155 on the money line. That's close to even money. Okay? That's close to even money, +155. So we're taking Buffalo on the money line. Okay? Game 2, 8:30 p.m. You've got the Tennessee Titans going to Foxborough, Massachusetts to take on the New England Patriots, okay? Tennessee Titans, you can take them +5. That's the line. You can take them +5 or, take them +5 and, just don't parlay them. Keep them single. +5 for Tennessee and take the under of 44.5 points, all right? Like I said, it's going to be some weather-related issues. I know New England's used to balling in the weather, but that's when they had Gronk and they just have players like that. That offense ain't the same. Tennessee's got a better than serviceable discount or serviceable defense. They got a better than serviceable defense. Plus, they got a nice running game with Henry. All right, so Tennessee +5 and a 5%, a 5-unit move. Bet 5% of your bankroll on this game to go under 44.5. All right. Check me out on Instagram at @fame_Rothstein. Okay. Check me out on Twitter at @FameRothstein, all one word, or email me FameRothstein, all one word, FameRothstein@yahoo.com. All right. Check out the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Fame Rothstein Sports Investing Show. Same as this YouTube channel. And we'll be back to talk about it tomorrow. But until then, be safe. Pray for our soldiers going over the war. Send them good thoughts. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. Holla.